My name is Edward A. Graves, author of Sully's American West, Volume 1, and if you've an interest, I'll tell you the greatest stories from America's Old West. But, first things first. Now, I define America's Old West roughly as the years between 1860 and 1900 west of the Mississippi and east of the Rockies. As the Civil War wound down and new territories opened up, a new, and in my opinion, most important chapter in American history came to be. And those were times and places defined by the people who were there. To the last, they were hardworking, strong, fearless, fiercely independent, adventurous, dangerous, capable of both great compassion and vicious violence. They were opportunistic, a little crazy, a little mean, a little happy, and always looking for a little bit of fun. And to my point, as I've traveled the world, those are the exact traits by which the rest of the world sees America and Americans even today. Yes, America's Old West defined who we are today, and that's why you, me, and others like us are so fascinated by it. Now, the vast majority of those who made that history were common enough folk, following their own paths for their own reasons. But during that 40 short years, there was also a string of famous, some might say infamous, events and people that truly created the persona of that period. The people: Jesse and Frank James, the younger brothers, Wyatt Earp along with his brothers Virgil, Morgan, and James, Josie Marcus, Doc Holliday and Big Nose Kate, Henry McCarty, a.k.a. William H. Bonney, a.k.a. Billy the Kid and his Regulators, Wild Bill Hickok, Bat Masterson, the Daltons, and the Wild Bunch, to name just a few. And then there were the events and places, Civil War battles that scattered former soldiers and hardened men into the western wind, the raid on Northfield, Minnesota that destroyed the James Younger Gang, the Lincoln County War, Tombstone and the OK Corral, the rise and fall of boomtowns across the West, the Oklahoma land runs, the horrific tragedy at Wounded Knee, the Daltons' fall in Coffeyville, and the greatest gun battle in the history of the Old West in Ingalls, Oklahoma, all were real. And those people, those places, and those events are what created America's Old West. But all the while, there was another chapter in American history unfolding, a darker one, and one that cannot be ignored as I tell the stories of the Old West. There were people of many nations here long before America was conceived, and certainly before our Wild West. I want to be clear that it is a chapter in American history that I do not condone, take pride in, or include in these stories. The impact of America and the Old West on the natives and native nations of these lands was a tragedy, no doubt, but to be clear, it is now history and there's nothing any of us can do to change it. And so I give all due respect to the natives of this land and their history, but my stories are of the classic American Old West, which, as I've stated before, remains central to our nation's persona. That said, let's turn our attention back to the subject at hand, those amazing people and events that created the Old West. This YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and my website are all about telling those stories, hopefully in a way that you find entertaining and interesting, especially since they are all based on fact. Now, mind you, I don't claim to be a historian, but rest assured, or check me if you like, every story I tell and character I address was real, though the details are open to interpretation. Hell, in most cases, nobody really knows, despite what they may claim, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So what I like to do is take the generally accepted facts surrounding these people and events, and then add those details to spin a story from my own imagination that very well could be true. And now, my shameless promotion. That is exactly what I've done in my book, Sully's American West, Volume 1, available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other popular ebook outlets today. I hope you'll enjoy that story, but for now, back to our regular programming. Come along with me as I introduce you to the greatest stories of the greatest characters and the greatest events of the great American Old West. All the best to you and yours. I believe it's that way.